I watched Trolls Band Together. Why is it actually really good? I've been sucked into the rabbit hole, guys. I feel like there's a very relevant discussion to be had about Trolls 3 and how it portrays Velvet and Veneer as a metaphor for plagiarism. And I guess plagiarism is the new hot topic lately, so I get to talk about trolls. Yay! I guess I should go over the plot of Trolls 3 to properly add context to my video, so now I get to infodump about the movie. If you haven't watched it yet, I'd recommend doing that because it's actually really enjoyable, but you know, I'll recap it anyways for the cohesiveness of the video. Trolls Band Together starts out with a flashback from back in the day, as they say, I think, when the boy band Brozone was a big thing. Turns out those were all Branch's brothers. You know, Branch is one of the main characters we've been acquainted with in the past 2 movies. And Branch was also in the band with his brothers. However, John Dory, the old one slash leader, was too obsessed with them being perfect and hitting the perfect family harmony, leading to a catastrophic fail and fall on stage. After this, the entire band has had enough of John Dory's bossing them around, forcing them to be perfect, and they split up, go their separate ways. Except for Branch, he was just a baby and had to take care of his grandma all alone. And now he has abandonment issues, so that's pretty sad. 20 years or so pass, and they all have their own lives now. But one day, John Dory shows up claiming that everyone's favorite brother, Floyd, has been kidnapped by superstar singers Velvet and Veneer. And the only way to free him is to sing the perfect family harmony, because it can shatter diamond, and he's being held in a diamond prison. You know, their words, not mine. Thus, the plot of the movie takes off as they have to get the band back together. They have to find all of their brothers so they can hopefully work together to save Floyd. So, yeah, they do that, and meanwhile, Floyd is being held captive, which is not very good for him. You see, apparently, you can just put a troll in a jar. I regret saying that. And suck their oh my god, this is just getting worse. And suck their essence out like a perfume. Velvet and Veneer use this troll essence to take the talent and skill that they don't have themselves. Turns out they can't sing or dance at all, and they're using someone else's talent to make their songs and get their fame. I think you should be able to see here how this can be a metaphor for plagiarism. So yeah. They can't do stuff on their own. They just take it from someone else. Simple enough, but what if I start talking about the essence of art and their misunderstanding of what makes art special? What then? What are you gonna do then? The trolls seem to have music in their blood, and that's how they express themselves. That's how they feel joy, community, and other feelings, I think, probably. Singing, dancing, performing, putting on a show is all second nature to the trolls. It's a part of who they are. And I feel like that's a very good analogy. I think that's an analogy or a metaphor or a simile. I feel like that's a very good analogy for how it is to be an artist of any kind. Just, you know, a person who is creative and has a creative hobby, like musicians, drawers, as they say. Floyd states that they're literally sucking the life out of him by taking his talent because, yeah, that's what music is to them. It's self-expression, it's a part of who they are and what makes them them. As an artist, my art is so closely intertwined with who I am as a person. I draw when I'm sad, I draw when I'm happy. My art is a reflection of my mental state. Whenever I create, I put so much passion and feeling into what I draw, what I write, what I create. I'm really fond of designing characters and making those characters come to life with personalities, feelings, stories. The OCs I write are reflections of my personal experiences, my life. The OCs I design are a reflection of the things I like, the clothes I like to wear, the hairstyles I find cool, like the stuff I make, that's me, you know? I think Trolls shows a relatable side of the perfectionism aspect of creative outlets, where it becomes something you show others and something that has to be good enough, that has to be held to a standard. There's definitely something to be said about that, but I'm just gonna try to stay on topic. I already have, my previous video was about perfectionism. I can't I can't keep going on about this. Okay, so we have established that troll singing is a part of them, and how that is very relatable to artists too. But Velvet and Veneer aren't artists. They aren't singers or dancers. They don't get the passion that goes into it. They only see the potential personal gain to come from it. They only care for the fame, the money, the things they can buy, without really caring about or understanding the medium that got them there. Something I found funny when I started to actually think about it is how telling their song lyrics are. All my talent, it doesn't come for free. You gotta work hard to make it look easy. If you want to be as famous as me, you gotta work, you gotta work, you gotta work, you gotta work. Velvet only sings about wanting to be famous and portraying her success as something she had to work for, when that's all just a huge lie. It's so ironic that she's singing about what she wanted and now has, and it still just comes from a place of lies. I'm talking about Velvet here specifically because just from the song, her dynamic with her brother is so obvious. He's just support in the song with all the lines that just reaffirms Velvet how great she is. Like, he doesn't really have his own thing in the song. He's just playing the support. So like, yeah, they steal from artists without understanding what made the artist do the art in the first place. And you know what that sounds like. You know what that sounds like. AI art. The answer is AI art. God fucking damn it. Like, this is why AI art is so upsetting to me and other artists. Sure, it's scary that, oh no, they can take our jobs, but that's not what really gets me. What gets me is the fact that they take the art, the art styles that we've put our lives into, ourselves into, they steal it and use it for personal gain without understanding any of the passion that went into it in the first place. And that's exactly what I've been saying about Velvet and Veneer, so I guess Trolls is taking an anti-AI art stance, I hope. I think. I mean, if you're really into it, that's what's happening. Yeah. I'm not gonna talk all that much about AI art because honestly, it's just not worth my time. But I hope through posting this comparison, you can just do some thinking on your own. So yeah, blah blah blah. Back to Trolls. I think it's honestly very apparent how little Velvet and Veneer understand about creative expression just from their lines, like, thanks for not letting our talent go to waste anymore, Velvet and Veneer. Like, yeah, they don't understand the value of creative outlets, except for the fame and money. Not everything else that goes into it, you know? They have so little respect for the actual artists who have the talent they steal, they're willing to put them in jars. Why is it all the jars? Put them in jars and drain the life out of them. I think that's, in a sad way, quite similar to people who plagiarize IRL. Not that they put people in jars, but that they think so little of others, that they think it's okay to steal what creatives worked hard to make. But thankfully, Trolls shows us that we can defeat plagiarists with the power of family. Yay! Genuinely though, find your community and support fellow artists and creatives. It's really cool the kinds of things creative people can come up with and make when they work together. It's great to encourage each other on our journeys of improving as artists and stuff, as well as just having a lot of fun together and sharing what makes all of us passionate. In my experience, you get the most unhinged, hilarious stuff when you work together with other people to make something creative, and I think that's really cool and awesome. And, you know, you don't need to get fame and money out of it, you can just have fun. Also, if you're someone who plagiarizes, please don't. Maybe this video made you think a bit about why, but yeah, thanks for watching the video. I had fun making it. And that's kind of the point of the entire essay, you know? Yeah, thanks for watching. Goodbye.